Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing U.S. immigration law. We are now in a new year. It is 2023. The lame duck session of Congress is over. It looks like we're going to have a new House of Representatives impaneled that'll be slightly different than the prior iteration. The Senate, it's my understanding, looks much the same, although slightly different. I think there was one sort of change in terms of numbers of seats. But where are we going? I mean, the question I'm posing in this video is, at what point is anybody going to seriously consider comprehensive immigration reform in the United States? We really need to deal with this. I mean, I'm watching the immigration system literally get worse by the day. It's really not getting better. Now, I've been disinclined to make a video that just kind of bluntly says that, out of the kind of the hope that things would sort of turn around, and also out of the belief that, okay, we went through the COVID shutdowns. Reasonable people can disagree, including myself, as to whether or not that was necessary, but okay, we went through it. That's now over, and we've still got backlogs, and it doesn't look like, I do know that the administration is doing things to try and alleviate that, but I don't really see it moving all that quickly. Meanwhile, the prior administration put rules or did changes of sort of nuances to rules in place that caused the overall system to, in my opinion, just become unreasonable. I really don't like the notion that the system is in some way adversarial. That was never the intention, in my opinion, of the immigration system, as evidenced by the fact that, well, for the first 12 years that I was doing U.S. immigration work, it really wasn't adversarial. You filed your paperwork. If they requested another document, okay, give it to them, but whatever. Now it's sort of like document requests are some sort of trick to try and destroy your case in terms of timing, or in terms of just, throwing a monkey wrench in to just intentionally cause the case to die, for lack of a better term. And that is really disconcerting to me. Meanwhile, you've got issues with, plenary power doctrines associated with U.S. immigration, which we've gotten into in course of discussing things like the doctrine of consular absolutism, that in my opinion, in their iteration as they were dealt with 5-7 years ago, made a lot of sense. Consular absolutism never really bothered me. That said, here recently, it seems like more and more it's being utilized as some kind of manipulative trick to just, again, destroy people's cases for no really good reason that I can find. And again, I don't understand why the U.S. immigration system has become, in some way, sort of implicitly adversarial when there's no need for that. The purpose of Department of Homeland Security and Department of State and their functions when they're dealing with U.S. immigration is, to essentially vet folks that are looking to come to the United States, make sure that the person, for example, that might be sponsoring them meets the requirements, make sure that the alien meets the requirements and isn't, isn't some kind of a foreign criminal or something of this nature, and then move on. It's not there to thwart. And unfortunately, I think there were some in the past administration that specifically went into the system in an effort to, and change things in an effort to simply thwart cases. And I got to be honest, I haven't seen the present administration acting with what I can see as a great deal of alacrity to kind of reverse that trend. And I definitely think we need to start seeing that sooner rather than later. But that said, more to the point, the entire law on which the U.S. immigration apparatus is presently based, I believe was drafted in the Eisenhower administration. So we're talking about something that's, 70 years old now, going back into the 50s? And look, the world has changed. I mean, and the law needs to keep up. So I think it's definitely time to see some kind of comprehensive immigration reform. And honestly, if this Congress and the last 2 years of this present administration doesn't have anything else to do, I think that would be a very productive use of their time.